Do I have to cooperate with my DCF investigator during the investigation in Massachusetts? Well, the answer is yes and no. If you don't cooperate with DCF, what alternative do you leave them except for to support the decision against you? So it's highly advisable that you cooperate with them, especially during an investigation that's an emergency, because they may be looking to take your children. That's the last thing anybody wants. And if they take your children, if you have more than one child, they may place them in separate, distinct, and apart foster homes. That's a result nobody wants, including DCF. So always it's advisable to work with DCF if you can. It's also always advisable that you seek legal counsel, because you're not going to know the statutes, the regulations, and policies that DCF has and how they implement it, because they're going to be different depending on what situation you're involved in, emergency or non-emergency. It's all going to be different depending upon what allegations have been filed against you and your children. Is it sexual abuse? Is it physical abuse? Is it neglect? What kind of sexual abuse? What kind of physical abuse? What kind of neglect? So depending on the circumstance and situation of the allegations will determine how and what you should do with the 51B investigation in answering their questions. Not only you, but also your children. It's not just you whether you should speak to DCF, it's whether your children should speak to DCF. Now, DCF has a right to see your children. And if you don't allow DCF to see your children, they will go in and seek a judicial order from the court, either taking your children or getting an order to ask you to produce your children so they can view them. One of the most important things that a parent, grandparent, foster parent, or any caretaker must understand about DCF, they are not your friend. They do not have to be your enemy, but they are not your friend. And you shouldn't get legal advice about what is or is not your legal rights from the Department of Children and Families. That is not their role, to protect you or to tell you what is or is not your legal rights. Last but not least, the most important thing is that ignorance of the law, not knowing what the law is, the statutes, the regulations, and the law in Massachusetts, is no defense. You can't say later, I didn't know that. I didn't know what that meant. I never read that. They never told me. You must understand it is your affirmative duty to protect you and your children.